Oh.
A good producer. See, all that fucking gold that you guys were just talking about is now just nonsense.
He did it on purpose. He knew I was going to come on the show, so he was like, no sound.
Yep, there it goes.
I told you to check YouTube to see if we were good.
Yeah, it was playing. I turned my sound down. So
what the fuck? That's why I asked you.
Oh, no, you didn't specify.
I did specify. I said.
Check YouTube.
Well, you check YouTube to make sure we're good.
Nope, that's where it stopped. Check YouTube, period.
God damn it.
I can sit right here?
Yeah, have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So, what are we back on Gossip Girl?
Nope, we're passing
Moving on
again. Now we're on.
Technically, we're just starting on Gossip Girl.
There you go. Good job.
Did you break it already?
No.
Oh my gosh, what the heck are you doing?
It's off of its number, so it's not balanced correctly.
There we go.
Hey, it's what it is.
Am I heard?
Yeah, you know.
Should we talk about the McGregor fight again? It's McGregor. McGregor's gonna win everyone.
McGregor's gonna win.
I got 20 riding on it. About to up my bank account.
It's about to ride straight into my pocket. Next podcast.
It will be. Fight at what time?
Hey.
Saturday at what?
I think next week we can hire a new producer once you get that 20.
I really think you need to know what hire means.
Writing this shit. That's like at work. We got my company's a German-owned company, so they pulled me to the side, me and my team lead, and we were running like prototype parts, like we were down all fucking day.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh well, you know, let's cut these shocks down. We need to do a pull test on them, make sure the welds on them, blah, blah, whatever. So I'm like, all right. So we go back, come back. We're like, all right, well let's cut these down and let's run a pull test on this and that. Okay. Like the 5th time, I was like, does "let's" mean something different in German? Like, because "let's" here means like collectively we're gonna do this shit together. Like, let's be more specific and say, can you guys do us this fave?
Yeah, for real.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
So speaking of Germans,
Communism.
I think it was Russia.
but it was like
Russia.
it was the uptick in her voice, like communism, like it was a positive thing.
Not
Like,
only
let's
that,
talk about this.
It's the second time tonight she's brought up communism.
Yeah, it's weird.
I got something to do with her boyfriend. I didn't teach her any of that
I
shit.
just read Animal Farm like 2 days ago.
Oh.
That's all about communism.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with communism.
I don't know anything about communism at all.
Go, listen, here's the issue with it. Go to like a chip aisle or a bread shelf and then like make a decision.
Go to a what shelf?
Go to like where you buy bread in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Look at all that fucking option. It's too much option. There's too many options there.
Mm-hmm.
Communism would tell you you can have this loaf of bread. And then you wouldn't have to worry about all these other fucking loaves of bread.
So just makes your life simpler.
It just makes your life simpler, man. It tells you where to work. You have a job. Tells you where to go to work.
This
you
is coming from the guy who's wearing a shirt that says "Obey Worldwide." I'm not sure I'm fully on board with his stance on this. Why are you in the bread aisle like,
Well, I deliver bread.
He's fucking freaking out like,
Yeah.
oh my god, so many decisions.
No, well,
they added another shelf.
I used to
He's
deliver,
calling you
I
like,
used to
Gary,
deliver
can I have
bread.
some anxiety medicine? I can't buy bread.
That's how people act. I used to deliver it, and I'd be in the bread aisle, and people would just be standing there for like 15 minutes trying to decide what kind of bread they want.
Like, oh great, he's bringing fucking more.
We just hit up like the clearance smashed bread that's 69 cents.
Even with
No,
pop,
we
the way to
checked that.
go.
We checked that as an afterthought, but we always get Kroger brand sandwich bread. Always. And we always eyeball the clearance as we're walking by.
what about the chip aisle?
The chip
You ever
aisle.
like?
Well, we all
you ever
like different
peruse?
chips.
Do you ever peruse the chip aisle?
I do.
Well, you
And
wouldn't have to with communism.
The day after that
After
episode,
9/11.
I got the all dressed.
You got the,
chips.
after 9/11, you got the all
No,
dressed
and
chips.
after our episode that you guys talked about, because I had never had it before.
Oh, okay,
So I went and got them, and they were fucking phenomenal.
there you go.
Because
And now,
the salt and vinegar threw me off because I don't like salt and vinegar when you guys are even talking about
Yeah.
that. But I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and try it. But you didn't really taste the vinegar that much.
next time you're in that chip aisle, you're gonna say, should I get the Doritos or the all dressed? With communism, You just get the Doritos, and it's simple.
See, fuck that. Fuck communism.
In
What
and
if
out.
you don't like Doritos and you're like, oh, I guess I'm not getting fucking chips?
You'll like Doritos. And then you won't have chips. Oh, you're healthier.
That's like saying if there's the only option, like you're basically saying if the only option is dick, like I guess we'll just learn to like dick.
I mean, you would.
You would, sir. I would not.
I mean, your palate changes.
I mean, if you wouldn't know better.
why is it going in your mouth?
What were you talking about?
I
see,
thought,
yeah, I mean,
I thought with
Trinity-
communism you didn't have those options. Like it was just.
guess
Trinity
never
makes a
time.
really good point though. She's like, if you never knew better, but yeah, thinking about communism, like going to communism now, I'm thinking
Now.
all the shit I would lose. If that's all I ever known, then yeah, that might be a different story.
We'd have topics to talk about on this podcast if we had it.
If
Wait,
we
they'd-
had communism, yeah, because they would give them to us.
Exactly. No.
The fuck?
Never run out of material.
We would then have a producer per se.
You would.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah,
Communism.
we'd be assigned a real producer. It's the only benefit that this might come out of this.
Right.
The only benefit out of communism is that we'll have sound on our YouTube.
For the first hour.
I want to put that one on Gary.
Joke's on you guys. Like we were actually just miming.
Now the start of the show, if you saw me, it was going to be completely fucking pointless. Because you were doing the intro to the show, and I was just like miming you. Now we're both just...
They're gonna be like, why are they talking together? I'm just sitting here like,
You know, it'd be awesome if we could figure out a way to like take that video and do like a bad lip reading for the first hour.
We should.
That would be awesome.
We should do bad lip readings, period.
I'm down.
We have the technology and the freedom.
I had a guy who
I've got plenty of freedom.
took the.
I'm
Me
a-
too,
I
actually.
just meant I'm a fucking American.
I'm technically unemployed right
Because
now.
we don't have communism.
Had a guy who took the Charlie Brown Christmas and wiped the audio and put his own.
Oh hell yeah.
How'd that go?
It was funny. He was fucking super aggressive and slightly racist.
I like the NFL ones.
Yeah.
The NFL ones are my favorite, and the Walking Dead ones are my second favorite.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The one
For me?
ham bone. Like dude, we quote that shit. My whole family quote the NFL ones all the time. But dude, the Walking Dead one, my favorite one is when the governor's like
The song.
singing. He's like, it's a chicken. When he's like having that conversation with Rick,
Yeah.
that is dude by far my favorite. And then what is it? The Carl Papa,
Oh, yeah.
the rap.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Carl,
fucking
Papa.
hilarious.
So, Walking Dead. Do you guys all watch?
No, I stopped watching it.
I'm
Me
caught up,
too.
yeah.
I stopped.
Who is your favorite bad guy on there?
Hello, governor.
Yeah, I have to say the governor, dude. He's like one of the greatest bad guys I've ever seen, honestly.
Do you know why he's my favorite?
Because we
So-
said it was our favorite.
I saw a meme. No, this isn't communism. I saw a meme one day where it was Lotso from Toy Story 3 and him next to each other. They're like the same fucking person.
They kind of are, dude.
Same fucking person.
Lotso's
That
the
is
bear.
funny, they kind of are. Dude, if
Who
you think
cried?
it-
Toy Story 3.
Oh,
Dude.
dude, we all went to the theaters to see that movie.
What fucking...
And, dude, I think I cried harder than them because, like, I grew up with Toy Story. Like, they weren't even born yet when the first one came out.
was.
That was like
Well,
that's
you-
like one of my favorite fucking animated like movies, and dude, that's like such a fucking well done movie. Like
Dude,
I don't.
next week.
My
instead of a
place,
top-
Toy Story 3, bro.
No, instead of top 5, favorite Pixar movie, all of them from top to
only
bottom
like
in
8.
order. No, there's like I think there's like 12.
Yeah, something like
There's
that.
11.
But yeah, that should, instead of a top 5 next week, we should have our favorite Pixar movies in order from best to worst.
So who? Speaking of villains, we're gonna do the top 5.
Top 5 villains.
Yeah.
Are you on the show?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry,
Welcome.
I had a text.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome there.
I
sir.
had to answer a text.
When do our
You want to
top,
start talking shit?
when do our top 5 villains?
Do you remember fucking last week? All you were doing was on your
Most
phone.
of it.
He was
Yeah.
on his phone or sleeping.
This is in high school.
I do want to apologize to Dark Region. I actually love you guys. You guys are fucking
You
funny
basically
as shit.
destroyed their band.
No.
Their whole band broke up at the end of the show.
I'll get them back together again.
Oh,
They just need a Gary hug.
That's right.
top
Not
top
so
5
teddy
villains
bear.
of all time.
Top 5 villains of all time.
Can
You ramble off top 5 villains? Any movie.
Sure.
Any genre.
I can't
not
do a
even
top
not
5.
just comic book, just bad
All
guys.
right.
Like it's so hard.
I'll see what I come up with.
Can I do 5 for me, and then we'll pretend action's here, and we'll just do an extra 5 for it? I have 15 on my phone, and I could do more.
Dude.
I can't even think of 2.
Is it weird that I fucking kind of root for the bad guy?
Not always. Sometimes I do root for the bad guy.
I mean, if you root for Spawn, he's a bad guy.
I don't, but
They're making a Spawn movie, by the way. It was green-lighted.
they already did that.
A new one.
Yeah, the original one, even though I was young and I loved it, and then I watched it when I got older and I realized how shit it actually was. Yeah. I loved it when it first came out, and then I got older and watched it again. I was like, oh, I love that movie. And I was like, this is garbage.
It's a lot of stuff.
Anyways.
I
Yeah,
don't-
dude, we'll just let you go
I
first.
don't want to go first.
Ramble
I
on
don't want to go
off
first. I have to
15.
organize.
Oh my god.
I have to write my whole freaking list. God.
You want to go, Obi?
No, I gotta make a list.
Oh my god.
Looks like you're going first. Hey, Ron.
Alright, definitely. And these aren't in any order. Definitely Heath Ledger's Joker. Definitely one of my top favorite villains of all time.
I just tried to do it fast and quick.
He was like,
You were saying?
slow at first, and he was like, and which LB can back me up on this one. I actually really, and I know I keep talking about fucking Sherlock, but Moriarty
Yeah.
on Sherlock. Dude, he played that part so phenomenally. I loved his character. Which, you know what? I changed my mind on the governor.
Hello, Governor.
Because I had him on my list. Negan.
Negan's a badass.
Negan is by far one of the greatest bad guys I've ever seen.
Okay,
Those
so-
3 I knew for sure.
Okay, I
Now
was like,
I gotta wing the last 2.
ellipses. Like,
I gotta definitely wing the. Those I already knew.
you want to borrow some of mine?
I got 5.
Jigsaw. Jigsaw from the Saw movies. It's a bad guy you love to hate. Hate to love. One more. I don't even know. Thinking. Still thinking. I got nothing.
You want me to go?
Yeah. So I got. Who did I say? Negan. Jigsaw. Moriarty. And the Heath Ledger Joker. I'm good there. Go ahead.
Let's start off with Vito Corleone from The Godfather.
That's good. That's good because it's actually hard to think of him as actually a villain or a bad guy.
Definitely a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but I mean, they make you like him.
They do. Trying to think what order to put these in. Let's go with Anakin. Darth Vader. That's a top one.
He's such a cute little kid.
As Anakin. Magneto.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Let's go. These are your favorite. What do you mean by favorite? Let's talk about that real quick before I answer these next ones. Like favorite to love?
Favorite to love? What?
Like whether you love them or they acted so well you fucking hated them or
Love to hate, hate to love.
yeah,
Either way.
like they just fucking nailed the role. You know what I mean?
Jack Terrence?
From American Psycho?
No,
What's
from
that?
what's the fucking? I can't think of the fucking name of the movie. Hold on. From hold on. Let me think of the name of this. I should know this. It's a fucking Stephen King movie.
The name sounds familiar. We said it. I don't
What's
know
it
why.
called?
Jack Terrence in the Stephen King movie. I actually would know this right
He
away.
is.
As soon as you said Stephen King movie.
As soon as you said the name.
It is a Stephen King. The Shining. Sorry.
Ah, there. Okay, that's why I knew the name. Okay, I knew it was a huge movie.
We all need beat up for that one. And then,
What about?
no, it's still my turn.
No, but I just had a thought.
I know you did, buddy.
Are anti-heroes
Loki. Loki.
Ah, he did play a great part. Dude, he
Is that
played
5? I think
Yeah,
that's
that was 5. He played that part phenomenally. What about anti-heroes? Feel like, is that,
Like Deadpool?
Does that feel like?
Spawn's
I
an
was thinking
anti-hero.
more.
Arrow.
I was thinking more Punisher from.
Arrow's just a pussy.
Arrow is...
Yeah, me and Chrissy's in the room watching Defenders here, and I walked by and she's watching Arrow, and I was like, the Defenders will kick his ass, and she was like, I beg to differ, and I was just like,
We should talk
whatever.
about. We're talking about put a pin in that.
Yeah, Defenders. Anti-heroes as far as like the Punisher from Daredevil.
Okay.
Is he a villain? Not a hero. He's an anti-hero.
Definitely a villain to some people.
To some people, he's definitely a villain. Because I could probably make him my number 5.
Hey, but technically, the Avengers are a villain to some people.
Yeah, I guess.
If they were killed by the destruction they caused.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, am I next?
Yes.
My favorite villain.
He's still.
you got 5.
My top. Or should I start from the bottom and go up?
I don't know.
I'll do that. Okay, so my okay, I'm not like a
Your least
hero.
favorite villain.
Yeah, I'm not like a hero. Like, I watch Avengers and stuff like that, but I'm not like, oh, Marvel, DC, like all that. So mine are
Definitely
mostly
Flash.
like Disney movies. Not really Disney.
Wicked Witch of the
Only
West.
Only 2 of them.
Called
are
it.
Disney. Only 2 of them are Disney movies. But my 5th one is Captain Hook.
No, that's a good one.
Yes,
Which
yes.
one?
Captain Hook.
Dennis
Not
Hopper?
from Hook.
Don't
from-
play that.
yeah,
Why
from
you
Hook.
gonna come at her like that, man?
I'm just being specific.
You knew where.
I didn't.
My
I still don't. 'cause
my
you
number
interrupted her.
4 is probably Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's my number 4 because he's just
It's Gone in the Eye.
yeah. I just love him so much.
He's the
Why?
volcano, right?
My number 3 is Jaws because that's a good movie. I don't care if he eats people. He's a good shark, man.
It's a good villain.
My number 2
good robot.
is Cruella DeVille.
Okay.
She's a bad bitch.
She kills,
And my
she kills
number 1,
puppies.
my favorite villain of all time is Sweeney Todd.
Ah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good one.
That's an anti-hero.
I don't know. He kills people and eats them. Or he doesn't eat them. He just
He sells their
sells their
meat.
meat and pies.
Yeah, but it's venge. It's like revenge kill. Like it's people. Who,
Aren't all
For him, it is,
villains
I guess.
revenge?
For Mrs. What's her name?
What villain isn't
Mrs.
revenge?
Levitt. Yeah, that's definitely like she's just kills people. There's no revenge
challenge
there.
me right now.
Yeah.
Let me look at my list right now. Kiefer Sutherland in Lost Boys.
Oh, great. Yep.
He was not a revenge killer. He was a fucking vampire. You
That-
can pause. You can pause and think about it.
Okay. Here. Okay.
You said who, as in
I
pick
can't.
one.
I can't defend it because I couldn't finish the movie.
What?
What the fuck?
It was really poor quality.
What?
Oh my!
How old are you again?
28.
That's fine.
Your parents literally just decided.
My parents, sure, they watched it. They probably they're like, oh, these graphics are amazing.
It's not,
Not
I
me.
watch it today.
was too
I'll watch
dark.
it right now, and it's gonna be amazing.
It was too dark. They didn't know lighting back then.
All right, so I'm gonna do one for me. I'm
We
gonna
should
do
watch The Last Boys.
a top 5 for action,
All right.
and then we're gonna do a top 5 for Chuck because I know he really wants to get on this.
So you got top 15.
Yes. So no particular order.
Fuck.
Heath Ledger, obviously, he's like one of my favorite fucking roles ever. Kevin Spacey in Seven,
Ah, good one.
like
Good one.
fucking dude, I loved his fucking role in that.
Kevin Spacey's never had a bad role ever.
Al Pacino, Devil's Advocate,
Oh, I love that
he's
movie.
a fucking badass. Edward Norton, Primal Fear.
That's great. That's a good.
Okay.
One.
Johnny Depp in Dark Mass.
And what?
Dark Mass.
Black Mass?
I mean,
Where he's like the
tomato.
cartel.
Whitey
dude.
Bulger.
Whitey
Yeah.
Bulger.
Dude, Johnny Depp in Secret Window too.
That was actually.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
I did not think I was gonna like that. No, that was
loved it.
actually really good.
I
yeah.
thought it was gonna be a total like B-rated
Right.
total movie,
Yeah.
and it was actually turned out to be pretty good. Yeah, I can understand that still.
So action, what do you think? Action says he doesn't want to talk, so he can let me do it. Jack Nicklaus in The Departed.
Okay. Dude, The Departed, man.
That is a movie.
Oh, I thought you said I'd never seen it. I was like, what? Holy
No,
shit,
no.
that movie's phenomenal. That's another one you should.
I can watch that
Matt.
fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like every time it's on, like I can't turn it off. Like, that is a
it's
fucking
great.
phenomenal.
Like
movie.
she's a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan, so I need to get her to see that one. She hasn't seen that yet.
Next one, Leonardo DiCaprio, Django Unchained.
Uh-huh.
Loved his role in that.
It's my husband.
Calm it the fuck down. Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's in a rock
Gangs of
band.
New York.
Oh, really?
Like he has some.
He is good in that. I was hoping you were going to say No More Blood. Or
Never seen that.
seriously?
There Will Be Blood.
Or There Will Be Blood.
Have never seen it.
You have to watch it,
I've
dude.
like oh shit, I want to watch that. And like I just have never actually watched it. I love. Dude, he's a fucking phenomenal.
I
fucking
watched a
actor.
documentary on him the other day talking about. I mean, if you think about it, he's only been in very few movies, but and they said that's why. Like
he's selective at what he
puts
does.
he's very, very selective, and what he puts himself to get into that part is like ridiculous.
Yeah. Christopher Waltz. He played Hans Landa in Inglourious Basterds.
That was in. Dude, I can almost put him on my
Hans
list
Landa.
because he plays.
He was the
was
man.
the sniffer?
He was the one, who fucking sought out the
Yeah,
Jew
yeah.
and shut
Dude,
that
he
over.
plays the
beginning.
best bad guys, dude.
Can I have some
the
milk?
best bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And like he does it with like a smile on his face. This is the
Such a
best
dick.
milk. Like like
Such a dick. He's
Which
good.
is one of my favorite qualities about Negan.
Yeah.
Is the smile.
Yeah.
It's the smile. Like that he's so pleasant
Yeah.
about his bad guy-ness. Action's got a pretty good list.
I mean, it's pretty solid. Pretty fucking solid. Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
those
What's
movies.
that? I don't know.
I met
House
him.
of a Thousand Corpses.
What was he in House of a Thousand Corpses?
Sid.
Captain Spaulding.
Captain
the clown.
The clown.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, like dude,
I met him.
Love
Dude,
him.
he's like as tall as you are.
Is he really?
Yeah, I thought he was kind of short for some reason.
I thought he was short and chubby.
He's super tall.
So he's tall and chubby.
Uh-huh.
So he's like 6'3", like 300 pounds, like average.
Hmm?
Okay.
Hold on, what does that say about me?
Huh?
Average? I wouldn't say it was average, but go ahead.
Agree to disagree. John Lithgow in season 4 of season 4 of Dexter.
Show, goddamn.
Season 4 of Dexter.
Oh, dude, he killed that part though. I'll give you that.
It was the best.
I've never seen him play a bad guy until I saw that show.
What?
Well, he played a bad guy in Ricochet.
Oh, which one was
I've
that?
seen that.
John Lithgow with Denzel Washington.
No. Oh, what? In Dexter.
Dexter.
Season 4.
Which villain was he?
The Trinity Killer.
Which one was the Trinity Killer?
He
was that
was
his
the
brother?
one. No, that was season 1. He was the one who had like the family and shit.
Gotcha.
The fucking the Thanksgiving scene where he fucking
He was
snatches him up with a fucking belt, dude. Like, woohoo!
When I think of him, I'm thinking Third Rock from the Sun.
That's why I love him. Because
When I think of him, I think of Harry Anderson's.
yes, that's what. But that's, like he's a
The
phenomenal
Sasquatch, right?
fucking- Yeah,
Sasquatch?
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Get out of here!
Love him.
Go!
But no, I've never seen that movie, so that was the only time I've ever seen him play like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. He's
It,
doing
like,
it great.
it was like, for whatever reason, it was that much more fucking creepy. Like, because it was him. And then, like, he's playing, like, the church, like, the pastor got, like, you know what I mean? But then you see all the shit that he's like, dude, he's fucking...
Dexter-
And that's what I loved because he's usually at the, very other end of the
Yeah, like,
spectrum.
but he's just got that kind of fucking range, dude. Like, he can, like, like check out Ricochet, dude. He plays a bad guy in that, too.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one. I already said Kiefer Sutherland, Lost Boys. Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal.
That's a good one.
It's all basic.
Sir Anthony.
Ned Beatty. He's actually the voice of Lotso the teddy bear.
I didn't know that.
He is.
I'm sorry, this is actually, it's live.
What?
Live characters. I'm joking. I got called out on
I
that
have
last
plenty.
week.
I have plenty to cover. And Ben Stiller is White Goodman
I haven't seen it.
in Dodgeball.
Oh, Dodgeball.
He was, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
No, he was the dickhead owner.
Oh, okay.
Nobody makes me bleed my own
Yeah.
blood.
Dude, it makes me bleed my own blood.
Michelle. And he fucking jumps on the back of the scooter like.
Zoolander dude. Yeah, he's funny as shit.
So that was me, Action and Chuck's list. Thanks, guys.
Good job, guys. Thanks for stopping in.
They had better lists than we did. They weren't even here.
Dude, I thought of another one, but then I was like, no, I think he's kind of more of an anti-hero also, but then I totally forgot it because your list.
Well, what's
your
Dexter?
guys' lists were so fucking long.
Did you say good?
Good.
He said good.
Good and long.
He said good.
Good and long.
Is Dexter an anti-hero?
He is.
Or is he a villain?
I think he's an anti-hero.
No,
Why not?
he's not ridding the world of justice. Or I guess he is. He
Of
only
justice?
kills. Ridding the world
That's
of,
a hero.
like-
That's a villain.
Yeah, that's it.
When you read the world.
I meant he's not ridding the world of like bad guys, but then yeah, I guess he is. I was told.
I mean, I guess it's the fine line between villain and fucking anti-hero. I mean, he's still doing bad shit. He's still doing illegal shit.
But he's only killing people that are bad.
Is he though?
Well, there was times he thought they were bad, and then
Oh,
they
did he-
weren't, and
did
then
he have a
felt
slip
guilty
up?
afterwards.
Did he have a slip up? Like also, as long as he felt guilty, like he's okay.
Based on the movie that just came out of Deadpool, what would you call him?
Definitely an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But how? I feel like he only saved. What did he do that would consider him an anti-hero, and not a villain?
He was a dick.
And not a villain. What makes him not a villain in that movie?
He's going after bad guys.
Only for his girlfriend.
Exactly. It's revenge.
But I mean,
But they're all bad guys, and they're guys that have fucked up his life in some way.
So-
shape or form.
inherently an anti-hero.
Did you feel like he was wrong for what he did?
Well, let's talk about what the movie started out with. He wasn't he an assassin?
Yeah.
He was a paid. He was a paid.
I don't think he was an assassin. I think he was like a hired, like bodyguard. Like, don't fucking do this shit anymore.
I mean, he was a hired goon.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you're implying
Makes you a bad guy.
Why?
If you're a hired goon,
That kid was stalking her.
that's
He took
only
care of that shit.
we saw one case.
Right, and you're jumping to conclusions.
I'm not jumping to conclusions.
We did.
I'm looking at where he's hanging out.
Where's he hanging out at a bar?
What's the bar called? Is it like fucking Assassin's Bar or something like that?
I mean, I think that would be a little too on the nose, but
He hangs out with T.J. Miller.
It's a little too literal.
right.
That would be a shitty name for a bar.
I'd hang out with T.J. Miller.
Dude, I would so hang out with him. Oh, that'd be awesome. Like, dude, just make fun of me on
I was gonna say he'd be the guy that would just absolutely rip on me. I'm like, fucking TJ. Like,
Have you seen his stand up?
I have not
I
because
actually
I
didn't even know he
don't.
did stand up.
He does like they do like a lot of voiceovers for like cartoons. Like I think he did a lot on do you remember that show? Was it Babies Watching Babies?
Nope.
It was like an Adult Swim thing.
I hated also.
Like there's some people that just
Saw that judgment on
being
your
funny like as an
He
actor.
has a podcast too.
Being funny as an actor and being funny like stand up, or even just being funny like being funny and then being funny like it's just a different fucking.
He was good, and
ballpark.
she's not
Like,
that into you.
I never seen that one.
Good movie.
I think my wife said that was good, but yeah, like Mike Epps, like I think he's funny, like All About the Benjamins.
Have you seen
shit
Meet the
like that.
Blacks?
I started to watch it and turned it off.
That's
It was-
fucking hilarious.
Is that the
Like, it
the
was-
Purge?
It's like the Purge.
remake? Okay.
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
I turned it off.
It's so stupid
wasn't good.
funny. It's so stupid.
I like Mike Epps, and I've been kind of like teetering on if I should watch this movie or not. But sometimes spoof movies can go way too far for me.
Oh, like they need to stop making scary movies.
What was the first spoof movie that you guys?
Scary movie. I think.
And I what?
The first spoof movie that you seen,
That I've seen?
Spaceballs.
like the first one ever that you seen.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
I'd like to get a time frame of when that came out and when I'm Gonna Get You Sucker came out because I've seen both of those, but I don't know which one came first. I feel like Spaceballs probably
I
did.
feel like Spaceballs did. I think, if I remember, dude, I was like,
I feel like I liked I'm Gonna Get You Sucker better than
let's look it up.
Spaceballs though.
I actually saw Spaceballs in a theater in Florida while we were on vacation. Like my family wanted to see it so bad, but I was like seriously like, I'm gonna guess and say 7 or 8, maybe a little older. Let's check it out. Spaceballs.
1987.
came out 1987.
Yeah, it might be really close then.
So yeah, that actually would have made me 6. I was 6 years old when that came out. I remember going to the movie theaters and seeing it.
I'm gonna guess 89 for I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
88.
Fucking balls. What month? I'm just kidding.
December 16th, 1988.
Is it really?
So you were so close.
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
16 days away.
What?
16 days away from being correct. I have a weird, like, sense of, like, if we're watching something, like an older movie on TV or something like that, like, Rebecca would be like, when did that come out? And I'll be like, 83. And, like a lot of times I get that shit, like, on the money.
I'm usually pretty, I mean, you can ask her, like, and actually, like, in this time, this podcast and movie knowledge, like, when I meet a good movie buff, I always want to challenge a duel of seen it. Because we have seen it, and I fucking love that game.
Interesting. I'm listening, sir.
When did Don't Be a Menace come out?
Oh, Jesus. Like, are you quizzing me?
I'm just trying to see.
I'm going to say
I was
92.
I was going to say later than that, like 95, 96.
93. I'll have a guess in the middle. Don't
You
even know
don't
what the
count.
movie is.
Cliff, you're right up kicking you off your stool. Are you looking it up, or are we just being quiet? For
No,
no
I'm
reason?
looking it up.
Okay.
96.
Good job, buddy.
I'm just trying to
I feel
find.
like I won, like even though I didn't do anything. Like, it feels like really good right now.
Hey,
like,
take yourself another
serotonin.
drink.
I'll hook you up later, Gary.
Wink.
You know what, like, one of my, like, Scary Movie was cool, and then, like, I didn't really, like, it got a little too far after that. I actually didn't really care for the rest of them. Like, the first one was good. I know they, like, made, like, Epic Movie and, like, all that other shit, and that was all horrible. That was all garbage.
Like,
I actually
they
didn't
made
like
a knock
any
of
of
like
that shit.
Not Another Teen Movie and all
That I
bullshit.
loved, though.
Not
Another
I
Teen
haven't
Movie,
watched it because
I
all of them were terrible.
absolutely loved.
Really?
That was the first one, though. That was, like...
Not Another Teen Movie, the actual...
Yeah, Not Another Teen Movie. That was like the first big, and I can't, but I don't remember if it was before Scream or not. But I think they probably right around the same time. They made a scary one, and then the Not Another Teen Movie. And it was like it was all based on like 10 things I hate about you. Can't hardly wait.
You don't mean
like
Scream, you mean
Scary Movie.
Scary Movie.
Yeah, Scary Movie, and then Not Another Teen Movie. Not Another
Okay.
Teen Movie was based on 10 things I hate about you. Can't hardly wait.
love that
Like
movie.
all those movies
Like
back in the day.
I know Scary Movie.
Varsity
that's the
Blues.
Wayans brothers and shit like that, right?
Yeah,
They didn't do the other one with it, right? Not Another Teen Movie.
it might have been the same production company, but I don't know if they had anything
Okay.
to do with it. But the main character, Jake Evans, in the movie, is Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And like that's where he got his start, kind of like where Van Wilder was, where Deadpool got his start.
Van Wilder is fucking awesome.
Those are great.
I think I've had these before.
And then they made a Van Wilder 2, and it's
I didn't even watch that.
Van Wilder, that's made after Bert Kreischer. Like I said that before.
Is it really?
Bert Kreischer,
The Machine.
yeah, the machine. Bert Kreischer, Rolling Stones did a piece about Bert Kreischer called Van Wilder, and then they bought the rights basically to his life and made a movie about it.
Get
that was
the
another
fuck
movie I was
outta
kind of
here.
waiting for
Yeah.
like, you to be waiting because he'd be asleep. So we
No
watched
way.
Not Another Teen Movie.
That dude is fucking hilarious,
It's
man.
so funny. Have you heard his Purple Jesus stand up? It's about him and
Is it newer?
no, it's back around the same time as the machine. It's him and two of his friends do acid called Purple Jesus, and then they go to Disneyland, and then like they're like buying the acid from him, and the guy's like, whatever you do, just don't have bad thoughts. He was like, my friend was like, well, what's a bad thought? And he was like, your head is an orange and you want to peel it. And he said the first thing we thought of was that. And like they basically talk about going on the Never Ever, whatever. What's that fucking? I don't know what the ride's called. It's the
Definitely
Peter
not-
Pan.
Not called
The-
the Never Ever.
Never Neverland?
Never Neverland ride.
Never.
And
I don't know about the ride, but that's what it's called in the movie.
yeah, it's a Never Ever Land ride in Disney, and like all three of them went up, and the lady was like, "Sorry guys, can't do threesies. We can only do twosies." And they're like, "No, we all just want to get on the same one. Let's just get on the same one." Like, sorry, we only do twosies. We can't do threesies. And he's like, "How about I eat your fucking face off?"
Jesus Christ.
And they talk about getting on the ride, and then like one of his friends, one of his friends goes, "That's pretty funny. Now give it back." They're like in pitch black, going like when the ride starts, and they're like, "What are you talking about? It's funny. Now give it back." "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You took my foot. Now give it back." And then he said his friend broke the child restraint and disappeared off into the ride.
Shut the fuck up.
What the hell are you watching?
And then it ends. They get arrested, and they're like Disney security is like taking them to Disney jail, and they're like they like parade you through the whole park when they take you there. So you're like in the back of this little like golf cart.
Yeah.
Getting taken to Disney jail, and his friend's like freaking out, like, "I can't make it in Disney jail, man. You know what they're gonna do to me in Disney jail?" It's really fucking funny. You gotta look it up. We'll look it up after the podcast.
Did you guys watch Chappelle Show?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
One of the writers for the Chappelle Show was Neil Brennan.
I watched it. 3 mics.
Dude, is that not a fucking phenomenal fucking
genius?
So essentially, he's got 3 mics on the stage, and one mic, like he'll go up and he'll do like one-liners. Like he'll do a few. The lights go down, goes black. Then he's in the middle, and like the middle mic, he's like being serious. Like when you're watching it, shit, like you don't realize like you're waiting for a fucking joke.
Right.
But he's actually he's just being completely fucking open about his life and like battling depression and like all this shit. And the lights go down, like then he goes over another one, and then it's like stand up comedy, like, like and it's like, and then like lights go down, and he bounces from these 3 different styles.
Right.
But it's fucking phenomenal, dude. It's really, really fucking well
I'll
done,
have to check
man.
that. Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, it was. It should still be on there.
Dude, a lot of the shit that was on Netflix isn't. I thought it like always held what it had.
Yeah, like you could at least find it. Like, yeah.
You know what you can't find? New Guy.
Never watched it.
Never seen New Guy? Ooh. Do you know what it's about?
You guessing the guy that's new?
Yeah, kind of. Trying to think of what other movie this guy was in.
Is he like
Real skinny, nerdy.
super ugly? Was he the DJ in Hustle and Flow?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
in Road Trip.
Yes. Yeah, he was the
Big nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've probably seen like bits and pieces of it. Just
He got like his dick broken at his old school. So
in the new guy.
in the New Guy.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
I have seen that. Actually.
Okay. Like that's not on there.
And then he goes to like the
A new
new
school.
the new school, and he's like tries to be like this completely
Like the
fucked
jail
up-
people
yeah.
at the jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be on there. That's all I'm saying.
No,
You can still-
you're like super bummed. Like how many times did you watch that fucking movie?
This
Man?
is a good one. I wanted to show it to someone and I couldn't. It's weird you can still rent movies from Netflix.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Who
like
does
have
that?
like the DVDs
Yeah.
delivered to your house and shit. Yeah.
What the
Like
fuck?
I see shit on YouTube and shit like the secret side of Netflix, like the secret, like how they have like different categories and stuff like that. Like
there's-
you can access like hidden
by
shit
typing
or
in
whatever.
numbers and shit.
Yeah, like I've never tried it before, but
Magnets, how do they work? Where'd he go?
speaking of magnets,
You attracted to me?
very well played. Can't believe you're single. Sorry, fellas.
Sorry.
Sorry, fellas. that are
Sorry,
listening.
fellas. This guy's taken.
No, we were talking the other day about how they were saying like global warming and all that shit or whatever, and they were saying how I think it's the either North or South Pole like has shifted like so fucking
It's gonna
much.
flip.
Yeah.
Eventually.
So like, but what they're saying is that oh well it's gonna get to a certain point, and then like if you put a magnet too close to another magnet it jumps.
Yeah.
So they're saying that that's what's gonna happen and it's gonna trigger like, but
The snaps. Can we work on those together?
how slow, like it's moving though? Have you ever taken a magnet and slowly moved it to a magnet?
Yeah.
It's not gonna really do like the jolty thing.
Right. It would
Like,
just
you know what I mean?
slowly push it. It's not just gonna like be thrown at it.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. But
I don't know either because I was just outside listening and I realized it's behind, but we were talking about New Guy and Netflix and DVDs, and I came in here and now you're talking about magnets. That
How do they work?
happened quick as fuck.
it was like the magnetic attractive.
You already had that joke. It's a good bit, but it's over.
Actually, I forgot how much of a delay we were at because
watch this.
I was outside listening and you were talking about New Guy and you were like,
You
who
don't
is
even want
that?
to do that. Mine's
And
so loud
I almost
first.
yelled in the door like, oh, he's from fucking Road Trip. But then that came up. I can't do it that loud. I can do it, but I can't do it that loud.
He said, God. everything better than me.
Snap better than me. You click your tongue better than me.
I just can't. I just don't know what
See,
it is.
I can do it. It's just not that loud.
I can snap my fingers like this.
We
too.
know. We saw that. Do it,
Okay.
please. Oh, I feel like they're all breaking. Mine would break.
Maybe when I'm older.
Am I doing it right?
Like, no, you want to get more open space and then just almost push at an angle and down, but you want your fingers to actually hit your. So like the snapping's actually your fingers hitting your palms.
It's the same concept as snapping.
I don't
your
want to break
thumb,
my
it's just
fingers.
snapping
Yeah.
it into your
Wait a
palm.
minute, like you can crack your
I
fingers.
don't wanna break my
like,
fingers.
Okay, I don't know what you do.
I can wiggle
Oh,
my.
we're gonna have a battle
know,
of
I'm really
arthritis
good at-
right now.
You know what I'm really good at?
Uh-huh.
Dead finger. I'm really good at dead finger.
I got you. I got you.
Oh, I can do something you guys can't.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I've never been able to do that. I can't do that. He's better at it.
He's not better at it.
Yeah, he is.
Oh well, look who's
Do
cheating.
this thing.
Oh yeah, the drips.
I always
can't
did
do
it from the
that.
side of the cheek.
There you go. See, I can't do that.
This is
There.
what
Hold on.
this podcast has come to.
Like it's really sad right now. Like I just had an overwhelming feeling of like
I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
like
ready?
I'm gonna be tired tomorrow
ready for
because of this.
Do it
You
from
can
top
get
of
a
that.
concussion.
It's like a
one day.
coconut.
I don't get it.
He's gonna get a what?
A concussion.
Never heard it pronounced that way. A concussion.
Trinity's always like certain words. She sounds like a fucking redneck. I don't know where she gets it. She'll say certain things with a southern accent. It's weird.
Certain things.
Certain things.
Thanks.
You know who had a funny
Times.
stand-up was Mike Tyson.
It actually
I don't know if that was supposed to be funny.
no, but it actually wasn't bad. Like I mean, like I watched.
Well, he
it
went
all.
on tour, didn't he? He came.
Yeah,
through
like
here.
it actually wasn't that bad. Like I mean,
He came through here. He
Like,
had
he-
a show here.
people had to laugh.
Favorite comedian.
Can't do
Go
it.
burn.
I mean, he was okay. Favorite current comedian. Don't even know.
Depends on my mood.
Bo Burnham.
Like,
Yeah, I like-
Anthony Jeselnik is like
Bob Burnham. That's a good one.
Bo Burnham.
That's good. Joe Rogan, Burt Kreischer.
Bill Burr, Louis
yeah.
C.K.
I'm iffy on.
I'm
Louis
going with
CK.
Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries is fucking funny.
What's that one guy? He's got a weird name. He looks like Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified.
Coconut. What?
Dimitri.
Oh, Dimitri
Demetrius.
Martin.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's good.
That guy is.
Dimitri Martin's
He
hilarious.
looks like a beetle.
He's like that.
Dry
mellow-
humor,
yeah, like-
very literal and
He's like
sarcastic.
he's what he say. I never seen bat shit, but if I did, I'd be like, that's crazy.
That's all his shit's like that. It's like,
That looks just like my girlfriend.
My favorite was the couch.
oh yeah. The couch is the best.
He was like, I have an L-shaped couch. Yeah, you know, lowercase L.
Oh, because it's just a regular couch.
Yeah,
There we go.
I got it.
dude, all his shit's like that. It's just it's
It's super
not
dry.
quite Mitch Hedberg
Yeah.
one-liners, but it's. I mean, they're definitely most of it's one-liners.
I
And
wish
it's,
I could
There's
think
there's
of,
a comedian that can do. I like the comedians that do like voice changes. When they can do like impressions.
yeah.
Like
I
Joey
know.
from Full House.
Who?
She said like
Joey
Joey
Gladstone. What the fuck?
There's a guy who can do. He does the meanwhile back at the Batcave, and like he'll go through his jokes. So he'll be telling like one joke, and then in the middle of that joke he'll be like, meanwhile back at the Batcave, and then he'll just jump to another joke, be halfway through that. Meanwhile back at this, and then he'll be like telling two jokes at the same time. It's like really fucking good.
I think I've seen that. That sounds
Yeah.
so familiar. I can't
think
really think
I've
of his
seen
name
that.
now.
Prank phone calls are funny too.
I'm not big on prank phone calls.
Yeah, it depends.
Dude, even when I was in high school, like, you know, prank phone calls were supposed to be funny. I just never did them, never found the comedy in them, never enjoyed it when other people did it. And I think that was even, like, back when I was in high school. Well, I think, how do you, you're my age, right?
Don't bring me into this. Expose your age, bitch.
But that was when, like, prank phone calls were huge, because they even had shows about them, like, prank callers and all that shit.
I
And,
forget
like,
what the one
So when they
guy's
had
name is.
Roy Day Mercer.
That's what the fucking
Yeah.
the hamster. You killed my prize-winning hamster.
dude, I never found the comedy in that.
I think
Ever.
I think he's funny.
I'll tell you one that I heard that was pretty funny. It's they had this black dude call this white dude, and he was like, "Hey," asked him his name, make sure he got the right guy, and he was like, "You and your wife are trying to have a baby at blah 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 medical center, whatever. And he was like, yeah, how do you know that? He was like, well, you just found out your wife is pregnant, right? And he was like, yeah, we did. Like, how do you know that? And he was like, well, somehow my semen got put into your wife, and your wife is pregnant with my kid. And this like goes on this like huge fucking thing. That was really funny. I guess you had to be there.
I guess.
Like, you are the worst stand-up comedian I've ever felt. Like, you just build us up for no climax.
I think there was a climax. I mean, it was pretty funny.
What was the climax?
I thought that was about as exciting as the solar eclipse.
Your climax was really funny.
It was really funny.
It was really funny. You guys should have been there.
It's not my joke.
Use your imagination.
I'm not gonna ruin the joke. Let them have it. You can look it up.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of prank calls, dude. Like,
did Karma just call?
I don't need that.
Is your refrigerator running?
dude, my kids watch like.
Have you seen the Family Guy one of that?
I don't watch Family Guy.
No.
Well, I used to until my parents found out what Family Guy was.
Great.
When she was like 3 years old, she used to go to bed every night when she'd watch a show called Family Guy that I didn't even know what it was. And we were like, okay, cool. Can't be any worse than The Simpsons. I mean, you know.
Wow.
And then like, but I don't watch like for the same reason I don't watch Adult Swim as much as you want to judge me or not. Like I don't enjoy adult cartoons. Like I never really got into South
He
Park.
looked right at you, like as much as you.
No, he judged me earlier. Because no, he mentioned Adult Swim.
I've never
he mentioned Adult
Space
Swim.
Coast.
No,
Space Coast,
he
Coast
mentioned
to Coast.
Adult Swim, and I was like, oh, I don't really care for that. And he gave me this fucking look like.
Loser.
But I don't care for adult cartoons. I can't get into it.
Oh,
And
dude, F is for Family. Have you seen that
That's
shit?
pretty funny.
That is fucking hilarious.
The magnets. The first episode, he put the magnets on the TV. I'm like, yep.
Like, dude,
this shit-
just the way he goes off on his fucking kids and shit like that. Like the oldest kid's bitching at one point, and like while him and his wife are arguing, and his kid's like, "What's for dinner?" He's like, "More free food." What the fuck are you complaining about? Like, but that's like shit that like back then, like you would say to your fucking kid.
Yeah.
But this shit went on for months, dude. Like months. She'd go to bed every night. She'd turn on Family Guy, and I'm like, all right, good night, honey. Leave the room.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight. Have a good night. And one night, like our TV was on in the living room, and me and Chrissy weren't paying attention to it, but it was already on. It was I think it was 19. Is it that time? And we're in the other room, and whatever was on TV with Family Guy came on. And we're sitting there doing something, and all of a sudden something caught my ear that came off the TV, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I'm sitting here watching it. It was Family Guy, and I was like, holy shit, Chrissy, she can't watch this anymore. Like, I literally like, ran back to her room and like turned it off. And I was like, she's super young, and I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, you can't watch this cartoon anymore. Like, you know, and she's like, why not? She didn't get it. Like,
I like remember that still.
Two of my favorite like things from Family Guy. One was my buddy Scott introduced me to it. Very first episode, they walk into like the grocery store, and like this lady's pushing like her baby in the cart, and this dude's like going to like kidnap her kid, like, and he's like, ah. She's like, I got you. And he's like, you sure did. Like, and then they go back to it again to where he's like, you got me again. Like, and it's like, I was like, fuck, like, and then like one of like, it's like such a subtle fucking thing. They were playing putt-putt, and Peter gets pissed off and like fucking just smacks his ball hard as hell. Ball goes flying, crashes through a window, and it lands inside like a china shop. Mm-hmm. And it's like, fucking like knocking all the china and shit off the fucking shelves and shit. And the owner comes barging through the door, and there's a bull in there, like, taking a sip of tea, and he's like, it's not what it looks like.
I like when even still, like, I've never, like, I still have kind of a hard time getting into Family Guy. But, I mean, if you're friends with Chuck, and you have ever been in Chuck's car, I've driven, you know, borrowed Chuck's car here and there, and Chuck's got, you know, one of the, like, you know, the screens that come out and pop up.
Is that the sound it makes? I think it's broke.
It does go.
It's broke.
Does yours not do?
It does not.
There's one of two things always on that screen, and it is either Family Guy or Archer.
Porn.
Family Guy or Archer.
Okay.
Archer's fucking funny too, man.
And
Archer, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
current.
so the Family Guy episodes, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't really get into it that much. But Archer.
Are you current?
We are on a
Archer.
podcast.
Oh hell no!
Quiet down.
Like no, I have never watched it in order. I've never. Here's what the problem. I'll get in Chuck's car, and Chuck, who has seen them all religiously a bunch of times, and they're always on in his car. He'll drive and he'll listen. If I'm in the passenger seat, it'll be on. He just listens and we laugh, whatever. If I borrow his car, and Archer comes on. Dude, it's bad. I've even told Chuck this before because I was like, I'll be driving the street and like some shit will start happening. They'll be having this conversation, and the next thing I'm like, my eyes start going down because I've never seen these episodes before, and I'm like, this is kind of funny. And I was like, dude, like you can't have Archer in anymore when I come in the car because I actually start paying attention to it because actually like Archer does seem really, really, really awesome. I've never seen a full episode. I've only seen 15-minute increments while I'm driving Chuck's car around.
Yeah.
But it does seem absolutely phenomenal. Archer seems awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Family Guy's. I'm watching Family Guy now from season 1. I'm like on season 11.
Yeah, we just started back watching like from season 1. Periodically, we'll just like go back and forth and watch.
The chicken fights are ridiculous.
Yeah. Everything
All I know is
is
Archer's gonna get me
ridiculous. Like they draw shit out way too fucking like on purpose.
Yes.
Like
Let's get back to the refrigerator one. He called. I don't know who he called, but he called somebody and he was like, "Is your refrigerator running?" And then the person on their line says, "Yeah, is your door unlocked?" And he was like, "What?" And then the refrigerator busts in and just starts beating his ass with a crowbar.
so fucking stupid.
It's so stupid.
But no, what I was getting at with the prank calls earlier was my kids. I'm sure most other kids. I thought it was my kids. I thought my kids were kind of fucked in the head, but
You thought? Like that's like past tense. I just want to
Past
make sure
tense.
You don't think that
Apparently.
anymore?
and I'm not talking about her. I'm
You
talking
seen-
about the younger ones.
You seen her outfit?
I'm in pajamas.
Is it pajamas or pajamas?
Pajamas.
Pajamas.
PJs.
PJ,
Ooh,
Anyways,
bananas and pajamas.
Jammies.
It was
My- my-
bananas and pajamas.
my
so-
younger
my
two
banana goes in pajamas.
religiously like watch vlogs on YouTube of just families. They're just families and it's their everyday shit. And it's just they religiously keep up with them. They watch them. They love them.
Who?
My younger two
It's a little weird.
on YouTube.
Who's like really? That's like
But there's
Stalker
tons,
starter kit.
There's tons of them, and, dude. It is, and there's tons of them, and it's just their everyday lives. And these people are making bank, dude. These people are like they've got thousands and thousands of subscribers, and they're making money off YouTube. But
Like
it's
us.
literally, we're getting there. But it's just
you'll get paid eventually.
What we were testing today, guys, was the first silent film podcast on YouTube.
I thought it was beautiful. But
it was very artistic. It was very deep.
so just for future reference, I don't even know why I'm saying this because if you've already checked out, you're not. Never mind. I'm done. I was gonna say skip ahead
Well, so
an
my-
hour, but if you've already checked out, like you're not gonna hear this message. So never mind.
How would they if they skip?
He
if
was
they,
thinking in the past.
but if
Hope
they
in the
heard
past.
him say skip ahead, they've already
Yeah, they've
I was
already.
Tarantino in this shit, man. Like fucking back up off of me.
back.
He
off
was
me, back
instead
off
of foreshadowing, he was backshadowing.
Okay.
I was 5 o'clock shadowing. Sorry, guys.
So no, anyways, my kids watch these families religiously, and one of these families today, they had it on while I was downstairs. They were making prank calls.
Because that's what families do.
Apparently that's what families do
done that with
on a normal basis. And so
What? What'd you say?
On a normal basis, that's
Oh.
what they do. And
Sounds
so the mom calls.
Racist.
I thought you said racist.
The family
I was
do.
like, I'm not
This
trying to be
family do 'cause
racist.
They're racist. The mom calls this number and she's like, "Hi, is Tom Wall there?" And they're like, "No, he's not here." And she's like, "Well, what about his brother Rob? Is Rob Wall there?" And they're like, "No, there's no Rob Wall here. Like, you've got the wrong number." And she's like, "What about Will? Will's got to be there. Like, if they're not there, then Will Wall is there." And they're like, "No." And I'm telling you,
no
like, you've got the
walls
wrong number.
here.
And they were like, "Are there any walls in your home?" And they're like, "No." And he goes, "Then how's your roof standing up?" And they hung up on her, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, that was the prank call. That was the prank call. Like,
That's solid. That's some good fun.
Like I can't even judge because like I watch videos on the dad jokes.
Which ones? Is
All
it like
of them.
I love dad jokes, and I love the humor, and not even because I am a dad, but I love the stupid humor behind it.
I love how disappointed people are.
I'm not a dad
when you
dad
hit
at
them
all.
with a punchline. They're like,
Really?
like I just invested so much time in this. Like,
No,
why,
it seems
why
like
do
I'm not a dad joke dad. Like I don't typically when she says some shit, I'm like, roll hardy darn, like
Yeah.
I'm not a dad joke dad, but I love dad jokes.
Like why do
What-
white girls only hang out in odd numbers?
Why?
Because they
can't
can't
even.
Even.
What did the cherry say to the blueberry? Breathe before you die. I gotta pee.
And I'm out.
Well, dude, last week when I almost said Drop Shadow, great old band, Dark Region was on. I was talking to Brad after the show, talking about how nervous I was we were gonna go bananas. And I was like, dude, especially if you're going to go bananas, I'm nervous as shit. I don't do stages well, and this and that. He was like, look, dude, I got a joke for you. Just walk up, tell the joke, mic drop, walk off.
That's what we call cheating.
And I was like, all right, dude, what's the joke? He was like, what did 0 say to the 8? And I was like, I don't know what. He was like, nice belt. And I was like, that's actually kind of funny. It threw me off, dude. I was like, that's actually not bad. That was kind of funny. I like it.
Gary, where do you drown a hipster?
This is my favorite joke ever.
Where do you draw any hipster?
Drown a hipster. In a mainstream.
She told me that one day. I was like, that is the best joke I have ever heard in my entire life. I love it.
Ready?
I've never told that joke on this.
Why can't Michael J. Fox draw a perfect circle?
I mean, I have my conclusions, but proceed.
Because it's impossible for any human to draw a perfect circle.
Oh, I feel like a dickhead now. Thank you. Who invited this asshole on the podcast? God. You feel like a piece
When
of
I was a
shit.
kid, I went to You're an old man like me. Remember Michael Flannery? Fox 19, Michael Flannery. He was the host for a while, and then he got into politics somehow, which was weird.
He did like a game
He
show.
always had the red glasses.
He did like the game show.
Yeah.
And I was on the game show, and like where they would have like random like people read questions for like the contestants.
He had that. Well, there was one time he showed up at Van Loonen's.
He was what the fuck is that? Where they would take pictures. What the fuck was that?
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame. Boom. There we go.
Yeah. He showed up at Van Loonen's by my house, and I went to Van Loonen's, and I know the youngsters don't know what Van Loonen's is.
He's bragging.
Humble brag.
But he showed up at Van Loonen's, and you would show up to tell jokes. It was like you would just show up to tell jokes, and if your joke was good enough, you would be on TV. They would like put you on like before the Saturday morning cartoons.
So he was showing up to tell a joke?
Oh,
No,
you're talking
he was like, he was just at Van Loonen's, and they were recording, and then you would tell a joke, and you'd meet him and whatever, and if it was good enough,
Okay,
your
I gotcha.
joke would air on, before Saturday morning cartoons or whatever cartoons.
When no one would see it.
My joke, Gary. You ready for my joke?
Yes.
Gosh.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
I won't say the answer.
She knows the answer. I've told the story 100 times. Because that was like my epic moment in life. That was my 3 seconds of fame.
The height of
3
your-
seconds of fame.
The height of your life.
What has 4 wheels and flies?
A dump truck.
Good job! Close. But that was pretty much how we get
Yeah.
a
He
garbage,
did
Garbage
truck.
truck.
That's...
No, you have to have
No.
exact
I have asked people
money.
this question 100 times and nobody's ever gotten that close. Ever. That was actually pretty good.
I'd give you credit for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's because he peed and he could think straight.
I think that I created a joke when I was younger.
Yeah?
But then somebody told me that I didn't. But I was pretty sure I did.
So did your parents.
Listen, it's why the turtle crossed the road
Why?
to get to the Shell station. I was a little kid.
Oh, no, I'm not judging.
That was cute.
That was probably better than anything you did.
That was
That
better
Wednesday.
than your
Have
cherry
you
joke.
watched it? Have you watched it?
Watch what?
My stand-up.
No, there was a video.
I'll show you.
Oh, I
I'll show you
watched
after the
it.
podcast.
Absolutely.
You know, my dad invented the rotating Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's the proof of that?
my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah, he's the proof.
The fact he's alive is
He
the proof.
said it. He said it. So
Yeah.
it's gotta be a fact.
Him and my aunt were sitting on my mom's porch, and they were like, "We should make a Christmas tree that spins so you can see all the ornaments."
Let's see.
So
Let's see. Hold on.
what does an angry pepper do?
What?
Gets all up in your business.
No, it gets jalapeno face.
You gotta say jalapeno. You can't say all up in
I
you.
said jalapeno. I was telling them about how you invented the rotating Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, you did that really young. I should have patented that. I would be rich by now. One of my other favorite jokes in the world.
Yeah.
Why is your shit tapered on the end?
I know this one.
You know that, Obby? Are you listening?
What is it?
You ain't even listening, dick.
Say it.
Why is your shit tapered on the end?
Why?
So your asshole don't slam shut.
It's funny.
That is like one of my favorite jokes. I like, dude, when I first heard that joke, I remember I was in Arby's. I fell out of my chair laughing. I was on the floor in Arby's. Couldn't open it. Dude, that was like one of my favorite jokes. Until I heard the mainstream joke, which you didn't hear because you were peeing.
You're European?
European.
I'm Scottish.
That'll be European?
French.
So you didn't hear it. European, so you didn't hear it.
I
Hey.
hate to break your bubble, but the rotating Christmas tree was invented January 15th, 1935. Sorry, your father's a liar.
Seriously?
It's called burst your bubble.
Seriously.
What
It
did he
didn't become
say?
popular
You
until
don't-
way later.
You don't,
I just looked
you
it
don't
up.
break a bubble, you burst it.
You break the
Did I say
ice.
break?
He said, I hate to break your bubble. Completely negates
Are you ready for
anything
this
that
joke?
follows
I'll be your
that.
dick.
Are you ready,
I'm
Obi?
sorry.
Where do you drown a hipster?
Where?
In a mainstream.
It's awesome, isn't it? It's hilarious. God, you guys don't like my humor.
Or your daughter.
Oh.
Nothing? God.
Shots fired, damn.
Bang, bang.
I didn't specify which one.
Well, he only has 2.5, so.
Shots fired again.
Like, not even from me. Jesus.
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that one later. It's rough. I don't know any other dad jokes. Off the top.
I don't.
Off the top of my head. No, I can.
Should I say my fish joke?
Might as well.
Why can't you hear a
What if-
pterodactyl pee?
Ooh. I know this one. Because the P's silent.
Yeah, I forgot that, by the way. I should have said use the restroom.
What?
I should have said, why can't you hear a pterodactyl use the restroom? Because peace out.
What was the joke? Oh, what did the fish say when it ran into a wall?
What?
Damn.
Oh, it's a dam.
There you go.
I mean, that one was pretty, like, you know.
If you can think of any more fish jokes, can you let me know?
Are you making a collection of fish jokes?
It's like the weirdest fucking, like, request. Like,
Oh, I got one. Why do salmon jump
Did
upstream?
you not get the joke? No.
no, I got that joke.
Which one?
The dam?
No,
Yeah.
I said if you can think of any more fish jokes, can you let me know?
Oh shit!
Dad joke.
Oh
Stand corrected.
fuck!
Stand corrected.
Damn.
What's the other one? That's like 3
There's the
parts.
Peter Pan
To
one.
Peter Pan. I can't remember.
She got me on this one, though. Because I, like... she said the joke, and I immediately was like, you know, put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, got this shit. And then she, like, hit me up with, like, a 2 and 3-parter. I was like... I can't remember how it goes. Like, you're the one who told
It
me
was like, why is Peter Pan always flying?
Why?
Because he never lands.
Ha!
You know why I like that joke?
Why?
Because it never grows old.
Ha!
Yeah.
Gosh.
Dad jokes.
I swear we cannot end the podcast like this. Please.
Podcast is over. It's already past 10.
Yeah, but we still got like 10 minutes
It's my
left.
bedtime.
That was so nonchalant.
What was that?
Nobody ever heard anything.
Alright.
What'd you do? A magic trick?
You know, that just made me think of, like, originally, when I hired this asshole.
Hired again with the hired.
Hired.
Are you receiving
he
a
get
paycheck?
paid?
You're like a rent.
Okay, let's talk like stupid like radio. You know, I think 96.5 used to have Kevin the stupid intern. We have LB the stupid intern.
I'm not an intern.
You're not getting paid, are you? Interns don't get paid.
Who else
Are
is
you an
getting
intern?
paid?
If we were communists, you wouldn't get paid.
You would get paid.
You would just be told to do this.
Communism.
But no,
Not paid.
you know what this made me think
You're an
of?
intern too.
In which
I choose to be.
was kind of his idea.
Yes, I do.
This okay.
I have no responsibility.
When I hired LB,
Air quotes.
kind of his idea was he wanted to have sound effects and he wanted to push all kinds of buttons and make all kinds of sound effects.
I don't have, which I don't have.
Have that?
No. I'm
No.
disappointed.
All he has to do is get it on the computer and then it plays through it and blah blah blah. But he can't figure that
Oh,
out.
no, mind you, I'm only in front of this computer
Pretty
for
sure
2
I'm more
hours a
skilled
week.
than you when it comes to computers.
That's your choice. You can come back over anytime you want and practice.
Anytime I want,
Anytime you want.
after business hours.
After business hours.
During business hours, check don't mind.
Right, for real. I came up here and did homework the other day.
Yeah, check it out. You can sit right here and do all you want.
You just
See
tell
how this is.
if Chuck has a problem, you just like, hey,
But-
look, Aaron sent me.
My thought was, dude, it'd be cool if we had cool shit like that, making like fake sound effects, like wrestling paper. We get like.
We're cutting out a potato chip bag.
You ever seen that video where they're actually making the sound effects?
And it's nothing like what the fuck they're trying.
Dude,
Like,
the one I saw was for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and how the effects were made, all the sound effects were made in that
and
video.
it was nothing like
Dude, it was
yeah, like
crazy
it was
awesome.
completely
I
off
know,
the wall
it was-
shit.
like when the hamburgers hit the dock,
Yeah, when they just
it
like,
was celery snapping.
yeah,
I was like,
that's-
what?
I know, I saw like a video, it was like an
Like, who the
old
fuck
couple.
even thinks of that? Like, you know what that would sound like? So snappy. Like, what the fuck? Like,
It was like
you're
waves.
fired, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
I saw
Dude,
one,
it
it was
is
like
quite
an old
amazing, though.
couple, and it was like waves hitting the shore, and they were like literally just taking a rope and banging it on the ground.
Dude, it's great. Like when you watch those videos, you're like, yeah, who fucking thinks of that shit?
Right.
That's ridiculous. But
That's
it's
some
cool as
shit.
shit. It's cool as shit, though.
yeah.
It really is. I mean, that's why they do what they do, and they get paid a lot of money.
You think they get paid a lot of money?
You know, a
Dog.
job I've always thought would be fun.
Prostitution.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're asking me what I thought would be fun. Yeah, sorry.
Like naming crayons. Like, you know how the crayons have like the catchy names or like nail polishes? It'd be such a fun job. To just
Like
sit there and
Slutty
think of-
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Always red.
Wow.
Have you looked at a nail polish?
I have not.
Okay then.
It's weird. Take it.
You know what,
have.
like,
You a
which
connoisseur
I-
of the nail polishes. You get your shit shellacked, son.
Like I have like
Surprised you know what that is.
Huh?
So I'm surprised you know what that is.
My
I don't
wife
know
is
what
a
slack
hairstylist.
means.
I know.
So, my girlfriend is,
She
and I don't know
kinda
what
does my
slack
hair.
is.
here's what I want. Like I have a very very vast knowledge of. Sorry.
All right.
90s pop culture.
For whatever reason, I don't believe him now. Like, I got a big knot.
I got a very vast knowledge of like 90s pop culture.
You're like a
Party.
like a
Like
pop-up.
What?
You're like a pop up.
A pop up?
Yeah.
You know.
Pop up video.
Yeah.
Like it pops up out of your
Bloop,
throat.
1993.
Here comes the information.
Do you guys remember Jukebox?
Yeah.
The channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't. He's young.
No, he doesn't.
I don't.
How does
You
she?
call in and like request your video and like you have like
Yeah.
a choice of four.
My cousin, like literally.
Cousin with a T.
My cousin. Been fucking hanging out with her, man. He came over to my parents' house one night and was drinking, and Two Live Crews popped that pussy.
All my ladies pop your pussy
They-
like this.
They played
Shake
that
your body,
fucking
don't
song,
stop, don't miss, just
and
do
like
it.
he legit
do it,
pulled a.
Do it now,
Not
do
even the
it
right
good.
song.
We didn't
Lick
really
that
ask.
Right
just
song.
like you should. Right? Oh.
Weird that.
I mean, if it was quieter, that would have been cool. I was talking, but I mean,
And
it
we
was
kinda
too
like
loud.
It wasn't even
didn't
wrong.
ask
It
for
wasn't even
that.
the right song.
We didn't
That's
ask.
not what we meant when we said add sound effects.
Damn.
You got ripped on.
The 15-year-old. Like, Jesus. She's got school.
Let's continue.
And she went with that we word. She said we like she's on
know.
the show.
Yeah,
Like
like
she's
he,
making decisions.
like he legit like seen the video and was like, like pulled a 20 out of his pocket and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch this a couple times." Like it was like it was like $1.99 or something like that.
Threw it to the TV like.
It's like wow.
Yeah, dude, jukebox was cool. It was a cool idea.
Yeah.
It was a cool idea. It just never caught on. But no, like my honest thing was like, I have this like huge knowledge of like 90s pop culture and just the way you dress, the music, the movies, like everything. And I was like, if I could ever make money.
What are you, Italian now?
I know, like bibbidi boppity.
Bibbidi boppity.
Let me tell you
I
something.
think that's Cinderella.
If I could only
Cinderella's
ever make
fairy
the monies.
godmother.
If I could only ever make the monies.
Bibbidi-boppity-boo.
Make the monies off my nanny's knowledge.
Why'd you just like Nacho Libre?
Yeah.
Get that quote out of my face.
But no, that's if I can somehow get into the movie industry with 90s period movies, I think I can make a pretty decent living.
I'm not watching a movie that's based
Well,
off
you
of
get
that
on
period.
that.
No, seriously, like the further we get away from the 90s, the more movies will be made about the 90s. So that was my thought. If I can get...
Yo, the holes are...
I'm testing sound
We
effects.
can all hear you.
Where's the bag?
Are you constipated? Or are you
No,
like,
yeah.
judgmental moan? What's going on there? No, dude, the 90s were cool as shit. I don't know.
Right, no, I'm sure. I liked Hanson, Spice Girls.
Okay, you grew up in the wrong part of the 90s.
God, no
but
shit. Jesus Christ.
I was born in 89. I was born in 89.
Yeah.
So, obviously.
yeah, it's like so he had like his
I was-
cultural outbringing was like 98.
I was born in 81. I love the Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, me too. That was like my favorite movie.
I used
Alligator.
to collect cards.
They don't have one with my name.
You used to collect what?
The cards.
For Garbage Pail Kids?
Like second edition.
I was gonna say, like, pussy, you didn't get that fucking Series 1 shit. Not like we did.
But no, dude, that's my thought. Is like if I can somehow break into the movie business where I'm like the go-to guy for 90s period movies, that'd be awesome.
Why do
Can
you
you
think
think
that
like an
that's even a
example?
possibility? For...
Because any period movie, they hire a historian.
Okay,
for
okay,
that
but
period.
what I'm saying is name one specific person that is a go-to for any specific like era or like genre or
Maybe.
Watch the credits. Like watch credits of period movies. Like, dude, period movies are like my favorite genres of movies. I love
Right.
period movies. Like movies that was like my personal favorites are like the early 1900s, like when America really started to come together. Like I love, the 1900s, 10s, 20s, and 30s and 40s, like when everything kind of started to like.
You said 90s.
Well, no, but that's where my that's where my knowledge lies.
You just
So
like
that's
those
why-
other periods.
he doesn't
that's-
like the 90s. He just unfortunately has so
But
much
if
shit
you
stuck in his
watch-
head from him. He's like, fuck, I might as well put it to use.
So much
Yeah,
shit
exactly.
he couldn't keep hair up there anymore. That's a noise.
What the fuck, producer?
I'm not a technical producer.
What?
I was making sure it wasn't your
It
phone.
is. It is our phone.
Yeah. You're fired.
Why did you do that?
Yep, you're fired.
Why did you do that?
Really? Really?
I was on it the whole show. Why did just now do that?
None of us are ever. Well, never mind.
Shut up. I was literally the only reason I got on my phone because LB's over there like,
What?
No, but like if you watch,
Twitter and shit.
and this is where I came with the
My
idea.
phone's
When,
right here.
this is where I came with the idea when I was watching a period movie once, and like I was like watching the credits. I like to read the credits sometimes. And they had,
Fucking weirdo.
What is wrong? Like,
they had,
shut up, Trinity. It's the best part. Carl,
they had like
Dave.
the listed like the couple people they had as the the period historians.
Just say historian.
Historians.
You were like, host.
It was like
The
an accent. Like, it was fucking.
Historians.
Historians.
It was the historian.
Oh, that is why you're trying to listen. No, you can't listen to the video of what you're watching with all this shit here. It doesn't work that way.
there we go.
Have you ever called into a radio station before? You know how that works? No.
Yeah, they
Ma'am,
yell
I
at
need
you.
you to turn your radio down.
Thank you, producer.
But yeah, so if I can get into that gig, where like, I'm the person they call, like,
Don't say
we want to make a
period
90s
again.
movie. Call Aaron.
Just first name basis.
That's what I want it to be. Yes,
Nobody-
first name basis.
Nobody's gonna be
Like
which Aaron?
Beyonce. What is that? Doctor Strange.
I'm the fucking Aaron of 90s Madonna shit. What?
Why did you look at me like I was confusing you? It was just my face.
Because
Like,
as soon as
I
I said it, I confused myself, which I knew was going to confuse you. And
So if they were gonna like remake 16 Candles, you'd want them to call you?
I got it.
be all over that ducky shit.
We're gonna redo Back to the Future. Call Aaron.
Yeah.
Did you see the previews for the new one?
No, it's our new one.
No.
There's never going to be a new one. Ever.
I mean,
Just like I'm really hoping they never remake The Crow. If they remake The Crow, I will cry.
They have, and it was terrible every time they did it.
No, they did sequels. They were talking about doing an actual like physical review of The Crow.
Yeah.
they need to redo Willow.
That would be awesome.
Fucking awful.
What?
The little dudes that get drunk. and
Some
shit.
movies, there's
Fucking-
some movies I'm like, okay, with the advance of technology,
Dark Crystal?
this movie might actually, Dark Crystal's one would actually be better because of the advance of technology.
Neverending Story. I think that's perfect where it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Deep
think
Throat.
it could use. I think it could use a reboot because I've tried to watch it. I've never tried to watch it with you.
Dude.
Have you watched it?
When his horse,
Journey
when his
hates
horse
it.
dies,
Everybody hates it.
I like it.
shit's fucking heartbreaking.
That's what the kid
Trejo?
that's like hiding under
Trejo's
the
horse.
bench, right?
What's Trejo's horse name? I don't remember.
Who?
Trejo's horse.
Quitter.
Quitter.
No, isn't that like that's with
Pussy.
Johnny Depp, right?
That's what it should be fucking called.
Neverending Story. It's with Johnny Depp, right?
No, man.
That's Legend. Or no, wait, Legend is with Tom Cruise.
No, then what is that?
I Am
movie? It's
Legend?
Johnny Depp.
No, Legend.
Oh.
The kid like hides under the bench.
You think that's Johnny Depp?
Oh, that is not. See, that is
You're racist.
That's where he plays James Barr, the guy that wrote Peter Pan.
Yeah, but
It's like,
what is that movie called? It's like Neverending. I thought it was
Ever After. What the fuck
Finding
is that
Neverland.
called?
Finding
something like
Neverland.
that, yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, way different.
They
Yeah.
both had never.
Way to-
Have
way
you
to- way to
never
bring
seen-
solid shit to the podcast?
Have you never seen Neverending Story?
I've tried to show them and they get bored.
I don't even know what that
They don't even,
is.
like, no, I've tried showing you when you were younger. I tried showing
Liar.
Journey recently and they, like, get
What is
bored.
that?
Which is why I think, like, they could use an updated version of it for the.
No, I mean, I can see it. Like, there's movies.
What about the Bookmaster?
What is that?
Page Master?
Page Master.
Page
thanks.
Master. There we go.
We actually, me and my younger two just watched that recently. Like, again, like, I.
Was it good still?
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
he
it was
does
still
everything
just as
with-
good.
The younger two.
You remember Rockadoodle Doo?
Oh my
Rockadoodle.
gosh, that was my
Just
favorite
Rockadoodle.
movie.
You ever seen?
He's like, oh, fuck you.
speaking of '90s, remember Nightbreed?
Mm,
Like, I think that would be a cool like remake.
that
I'm
would.
about to
Yes.
rewatch
That, I
Rockadoodle.
think that would definitely be due for a remake.
A movie that I just recently watched, and I don't think it was in the '90s. I think it was the early 2000s. But The Cell with Jennifer Lopez.
Fucking horse, dude.
Dude, whoever fucking came up with that should be on a government watch list. Like, that is the creepiest shit. Like, seriously, like, no shit.
the
Like,
movie's fucked,
dude, that's
dude.
a fucked up fucking movie, dude. Like, that was in someone's head, like, and they were like, like, fucking vigorously, like, writing down, like, chapter 6. Like, fucking,
Love you. Trinity's going to bed. She's got school tomorrow.
night, Trinity.
You want to sing us a song first?
You sing?
No.
Not gonna sing?
What the
tried.
fuck, man? We promised our guests that there was going to be a singing.
Your guest didn't know I was on the show, so.
It was a surprise.
Sherlock Holmes called us and told us he knew 3 weeks ago.
Like,
All right.
No, dude, that movie's The Cell was great.
they made a Cell 2. I never watched it because I just
I didn't
assumed
watch it.
it was going to be fucking terrible.
All I know is my favorite scene was the horse scene.
My favorite scene was where
It smells weird.
she fucking
It's
like-
from a festival.
I like
She's-
turtles.
where she stands over top of him and grabs his like freaking plate and rips his
Yeah.
nipples
Yeah.
off.
Dude, that movie was jacked, dude. Dude, it was
fucking weird,
awesome.
dude.
Dude,
Yeah,
it was good.
I watched it with my niece when I was off for my knee surgery, and she was like, "What are you watching? Like, this is like there's like it doesn't even make sense." And I was like, "Just watch it. Shut up!" Like, I was like, it was all nostalgic for me. Like, this is creepy, awesome. Like,
The
it's just,
bad
like,
guy,
fucking
the
weird.
bad guy in that movie is Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yeah.
who's like in. I think he's in Law and Order now. Like, well, he's in one of the criminal shows now.
He's been in.
He's also
On Daredevil.
Daredevil, the
Kingpin.
Kingpin. You know what else
He's on Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. I can't remember what show it was.
Yeah, he has schizophrenia, or he's bipolar. He's bipolar.
You know what else he's in? Because you brought it up earlier.
I did.
Adventures in Babysitting. The original one.
He's the fucking.
He's
yes,
the
he
mechanic
is.
dude.
Yes,
with
he
the
is.
fucking blonde
Thor.
mullet.
Fucking the
Yes.
fake Thor.
Yeah, he's like super thin.
Hell yeah.
How do you guys?
He's a great actor though. I like him.
How do you
Yeah,
feel
I do
about Escape from New York?
With Kurt Russell.
I like it for what it was.
Or was that Los Angeles?
No, Kurt Russell. Was Kurt Russell in L.A.?
Which one? I can't remember which one.
Escape from New York was the first one. That was Kurt Russell for sure.
Yeah.
For its time, like
Yeah, he was in
liked
LA
it.
too.
I liked it.
I was thinking
Escape
he
from
was in
LA
LA.
was fucking garbage. Like it was a fucking throwaway.
Well, I mean,
absolutely.
New York was an original piece.
But no, he
I could use an update.
Vincent.
D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Like the main things that I fucking remember him from are Full Metal Jacket.
Oh my god.
He played a great.
And he was the fucking dude in Men in Black.
What dude?
Oh, the
alien
fucking,
like lifts his head and shit.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
farmer?
where he puts
Yeah,
the
fucking
farmer dude on
yeah.
his
Oh
fucking. That was him.
shit.
Dude, he's a great actor. Like he's very underrated. Very underrated.
Yeah, those are probably like the two that I like remember the fucking most, man. Like
You knew another person who's always like. I thought about putting him on my top 5 villains. For. I'll get to that in a minute. But I love him as an actor. Is Sam Rockwell.
oh fucking love
Super
him, dude.
underrated. Super underrated. But his part. Have you seen Charlie's Angels? Right,
Yeah.
with Cameron Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
His part as the bad guy in Charlie's Angels, like the main dude that owned the company that got kidnapped and ended
Yeah.
up being him. His part in that movie and the way he acts reminded me of Moriarty. In the way I was like, man, Sam Rockwell could have played this part, but I do actually really enjoy this dude that played this part.
Mm-hmm.
But they seemed very similar to me. But dude, Sam Rockwell is like super underrated. You ever seen the movie Moon?
I was just getting ready to say that.
Yeah.
I recently just seen like a thing where it was like
That's with the dude from Cab, right?
That's Sam Rockwell. It's the same guy from
Yeah.
bad guy from
Okay.
Charlie's Angels.
I
and
just
Seven
seen something-
Psychopaths.
Yeah, I'm saying it's about him. Moon is about him.
Like about him as an actor, or
Yeah.
just
Yeah, isn't it about him?
no, it's not a documentary or anything. It's like it's a movie, but it's only him in it.
It's only him?
Yeah, it like he's on a space station by himself,
Oh.
and he can't get contact with.
Oh no,
back
I've
to
not
Earth,
seen
and
that.
he's just stuck there. And
Okay.
he's trying to figure it out, dude. It's fucking amazing. But go ahead, Barry.
I liked. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. Mr. Right. It was with who's the chick that played in Pitch Perfect?
Which one?
She's the main chick, big teeth.
Anna Kendrick.
Kendrick. So she plays like the lead, and he plays.
Deep.
He, you got it. He's like a serial killer, or like a hitman or whatever, and but he's like everything he's in, dude. Like he's got this like fucking like smooth like fucking like way of, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
And he's a serial killer, but like he's like turning a new leaf and like doesn't want to fucking kill anymore. So like the beginning of it or whatever is like he knocks on the door, this old lady answers, and he's got like a fucking like clown nose on for whatever reason, and she was like, "Can I help you?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So you hired somebody to kill your husband?" And she was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, that's me." And she was like, and he was like, "I can't do it," like, you know. And like fucking like kills her and shit, like. So he's like trying to like get out of it and like fucking like turn into a leaf and shit. But he ends up fucking seeing Anna Kendrick or whatever, and like was like instantly like attracted to her and shit or whatever. Like when they start hitting it off, like. But he's like brutally honest, like. So like there's like a scene where like they're at a restaurant and shit, and like he sees like another hitman that's like after him and shit. So he was like, "I'll be right back, okay?" So like they go outside and shit. He's like, "Look, man, like I really like this chick, man. Like we do this tomorrow, like, you know, blah blah blah." And the guys like they start fucking fighting and shit like that, where he ends up fucking killing him. And he comes back in, and she was like, "Gosh, you took a long time." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Had to kill a guy in a parking lot." Like, and she's like, "You're crazy."
I'm gonna
like,
check that out.
Dude, it's real. It's actually really fucking good, man. That and
There's another movie like
The
that.
Way Back.
Oh, The Way Back's good.
Dude,
Is that was Martin Sheen?
No, that's with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And Steve Carell plays a fucking asshole, dude, and he plays it really fucking well, dude.
I mean, I've seen Steve Carell play some serious parts. I haven't seen him.
Sam Rockwell plays
play-
basically like a he's an old dude who works at basically like Search Cincinnati. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like he can't let go of his youth, and like he doesn't have any responsibilities and doesn't want to be an adult, and he ends up fucking like befriending like this young kid, and like kind of taking him under his wing and shit. It's just a really fucking like well done movie. But yeah, I love Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, definitely. Bottom line, like he is so underrated, dude.
Have you seen
do not talk about him enough?
Matchstick Men?
Yes, that
That's
was
a
a
good
great movie.
Did you just say yeah?
He did. It's
Yes.
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Hi.
Yeah, I liked him in that. I liked him in what was the one where he played the dude who was like based off the dude who was like the Gong Show host. Confessions of like a Dangerous Mind or some shit like that. Have you guys seen that one? It's like based off like real life shit where like the dude who was like the host of like the Gong Show was actually an assassin for like the government or some shit.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wasn't Mr. Rogers an assassin?
I don't think he was an assassin. I think he was like in the
Elite
military.
sniper or something
yeah,
like
he was
that?
like a fucking badass motherfucker. Yeah, like
Check your privilege.
no shit. I like there's another actor that I like, man, that like hasn't really came out with a lot of shit here recently, man. Edward Norton, man, like I don't know that I've really
Dude,
seen.
I loved him
I don't know
early
that I've
on,
seen,
and then yeah, he kind of died off.
like
I
even like
loved him
Leaves
early
of
on.
Grass, where he
That
had like
was
a
good.
fucking
He had a twin brother.
dude. It was fucking. It was a
was
good
great.
movie,
That was a
but it
great
did
movie.
nothing. Like it made no fucking money. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
But dude, like American History X is like one of my fucking all time favorite fucking movies. Like, have you guys seen that fucking Shot Caller?
Yeah.
That's a fucking legit fucking movie too, man. Like that was really good.
I don't know if you know.
Basically, this dude he's like a white collar dude, businessman or whatever. Him, his wife, and his buddy that he works with, and his girl, whatever, go out to dinner and shit. Nothing like celebrating, like being crazy or like that, but they just have like a little bit of wine and shit with dinner. They leave, and he's like bullshitting, like laughing and stuff like that. He runs a red light, and somebody T-bones him, and his buddy in the backseat dies. So he's basically like in prison, like, and they're like, his lawyer's like, there's not really much that I can do. Like, I mean, you know, you're facing 7 years. If you take a plea deal, probably do 3. Like, you know what I mean? And so his wife comes to visit him and shit like that or whatever, and she was like, you know, bullshit, like, we're fighting this. And he's like, you know, babe, like, I blew over the legal limit. I ran a stop sign. Like, there's nothing, like, everything is going against me. Like, if I go to fucking trial with this, I'm doing 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my best option is to do 3, like, do a plea deal, get 3 years, and then I'll probably only serve, you know, X amount of time or whatever. So when he goes in, he's talking to his lawyer at one point, and his lawyer's basically telling him, like, you know, like, my best advice for you is, you know, don't be a bitch, basically. Like, you know, if somebody calls you out, like, it's going to suck, but, like, you have to do what you got to do. Like, you don't want to be labeled a bitch in here because everybody will, you know, fuck with you or whatever. So he ends up walking out to the yard and shit, and this big fucking black dude, like, bumps into him and shit, and is like, you know, like, bitch, motherfucker, like, like, screaming and hollering and shit like that or whatever. So everybody on the yard's, like, looking, and he's like, oh, fuck, like, and fucking like jumps on him and shit, and they fight. He goes into the hole. When he comes out, like a group of like the white supremacists and shit like approach him, and like one of the leaders or whatever was like, oh, so you just gonna fight every bitch that fucking talks shit to you? And he's like, well, I mean, like, I couldn't back down. I had to stand my ground. And he was like, that's not how you do it. Like, you know, you're not gonna be able to fight everybody that's an asshole. That's everybody. And, yeah. So he was like, but what you can do is you can get with us, you know, and you won't have to fight those fights. He's like, but with that protection, you know, there's cost. You know, you're gonna have to get your fucking hands dirty like everybody else. Like, and he's like, you know, all right. So like the whole movie is basically he goes to jail for some shit like, you know, fucking bullshit, and then all of a sudden it's him working his way up through.
Go ahead.
it's him working his way up through like the white supremacy and fucking all that shit, like in prison, and like his time, like, and he completely changes like as a person and shit, dude. Like, fucking crazy, man. And like I watched a documentary one time, and it was basically kind of something similar to that, where the documentary on a guy who went to prison for fraudulent checks. He was serving 6 months for fucking.
Catch Me If You Can.
Huh?
Catch Me If You Can.
No. He was serving 6 months for bad checks, and in that 6 month time, he got in with like the wrong fucking group, and he ended up like the pod got locked down. He stabs this dude like 167 times, like, and they got it on video and everything, like literally like to where he got tired, got up and walked, and he's like standing by the doors and shit, screaming at the cops and everything else or whatever, and they're getting the SWAT crew and shit together.
Holy
and
shit.
He comes back and fucking starts stabbing him again. Like he was in there for fraudulent checks, dude, for 6 months, and then fucking that quickly he got fucking into the wrong shit, and fucking now he's in there for the rest of his life.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy.
All right, guys, it's 10:30. We're gonna wrap this shit up. We're gonna, not that anybody's listening at this point in time, but we have no guest next week either. So if you want to be a guest, email us at unshavenmodcast@gmail.com. Pretty much the end of the show. Got nothing to say, nothing to tell you, nothing for next week. We actually have no guests planned whatsoever from here on out. So,
If you guys have any suggestions for top fives or anything like that,
shoot them
comment
in.
that shit.
Shoot them in. Yeah, just let us know what's going on. Let us know if you like the show. I'm thinking me and Gary may start another podcast on a different night called Movieology. Sounds like it'd be awesome.
I won't be producing
I
that,
think you just got kicked out.
LB won't be here.
so it should run smoothly.
He's not supposed to be here when you say that.
So that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody can fuck off and die.
Bye-bye.
So you.
No, sorry, you were talking. I thought I heard like rain.